I want to welcome Millionaire Bachelor to the stage. How you doing, Millionaire Bachelor Millionaire?
How's it going?
Doing well, doing well. Man, you you shelled out some money recently. That's a big promo. You know, like I think I don't know like whether Andrew owes you a thank you for the promotion or what.
I think I deserve a thank you.
I am an Andrew fan, but the Millionaire Bachelor's billboard is epic. It's October 12th, 5 p.m. here in Muskegon, Michigan on I-96.
I mean, he gave him some free promo. What inspired that?
Well, me and Andrew, we have a long history.
Long? Do you think it's like July is long?
No, it actually dates back to a year. So,
okay.
One of his friends, I don't want to give any shout outs, but I think his name is Speak Easy. He brought me on his show about, close to a year ago. And, the first thing that he did was he showed, I have this video where, I do late night swims. So I'll show girls and all that stuff. But he zooms in on the girls' faces and he tries to dox the girls.
This footage is because these people rented the home and you took the camera footage of those people chilling out by the pool.
No, so I'm like, this is my first introduction to the internet. So I'm saying,
who's doxing the girls?
Well, he pretty much blew their face up. His name is Speak Easy. Yeah. So he blew their faces up and he put it on the screen, and I'm looking like, whoa, this is the first time that I'm going on the internet, and this is kind of crazy because the girls, they contacted me and said I didn't okay to be on on screen. So that was the first issue. The second issue, he brought me on his show for another interview. I kind of let bygones be bygones. And it was a sneak attack where it was supposed to be a debate with Andrew Wilson that I had no clue about.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for having me on. How you doing today, Mr. Millionaire Bachelor guy?
I'm great. Now, I like the guy, Andrew Wilson, at this time. So I was like, okay, fine. But in the back of my mind, I'm still saying you guys tried to ambush me. We go through with the interview and I say, hey, let's do an interview. He said, oh, well, I'll do an interview if we go to Alaska, one city to another.
Now here's what I'll do. Schedule a helicopter ride over Alaska where we can shoot timber wolves, and then I'll go do an interview with you doing that. That sounds awesome.
Hold on. So I said, no problem. So I called my pilot who, actually can, get a helicopter out in Alaska, and I actually set it up because I'm assuming that he probably thought I was fake because there's a lot of fake people on the internet, but I'm not. And I go on one of his streams and he says, well, I was just lying to him. He's so dense. So I took offense to that, and I messaged him again and I said, do you really want to do this? And he went back and forth and said, yeah, but it wasn't the truth. So I put a video out speaking my truth. Andrew Wilson comes back, and when his wife chimed in, that's when I got upset. And I said, you know what? We have to make an example of you. And I put billboards all along I-96 and Route 31, along major highways and hospitals and airports, just so Andrew Wilson understands that I am his daddy.
Now, what did Rachel say that upsetted you so much? Like, I don't recall.
She called me 100 air.
Oh, and so got it. Play with words on your name.
Yeah, and I'm just like, don't do that. Don't play it. But the Andrew Wilson, I think this is where, he crossed the line. Most people say, he didn't dox me. But let me just say this. Let's say he didn't dox me. Andrew Wilson fucked up when he shared a front view of my mansion. And then he fucked up a second time when he said it was an apartment. Now, I just pulled the zoning for the building. It's a single family home. I understand that he's from Michigan and he doesn't really understand, when you're on the East Coast or the Northeast, the homes are vertical. They're more they're higher. So, you know, I understand he might not understand that, but don't call my shit an apartment. So,
Now, I think I was listening to
Good
that
night, Glenn.
stream.
I'm out. Good night.
Good night.
Have a good night.
Night.
I remember I was listening to that stream, and from what I recall, somebody just like did a Google image search or whatever, right? Like from what you showed, right?
Right.
Like, and they whatever popped up is what they sent him. So I don't think like he was just seeing what the picture was. He was sharing the picture, like so.
I get it, but here's my issue with that. You don't share that on the screen for other people to see.
And they found this apartment in Philly. Here it is. You ready, ladies and gentlemen? You ready for this? Here it is. Ooh, caught, bro, caught. You just got caught in 4K, bro. Woo! Oops.
And especially after I left the conversation. So I had left the conversation I had with him, and then he shared the image. That's where I gotta call a spade because you gotta think about it. If I would have shared the image, and I know where he lives at, if I would have shared the image to the front of his house, knowing that he has 5 kids, a wife, and everybody that's coming into his house, I would have been labeled a monster.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, you ready for this? Here it is. Ooh, caught, bro, caught.
Well, so okay, allow me to play devil's advocate here. All right.
Sure.
During that conversation you had with him, you said that you were currently in New York.
Of course.
Right. And so the picture that popped up, right, it said Philly. So for him, it's like, well, could he be in Philly? Is he really in New York? And this image here is just, you know, it says Philly, but maybe there's one in New York. Like, do you see like how like it could be by taking you at your word, like that you're in New York? Like, well, then this can't be his place because, you know, he said he's in New York. Like,
so my thing is I own mansions in Philly, New York, and DC. But if I'm in one mansion and I'm outside, right? Because, you know, my garden space is outside.
yeah,
I'm not going to tell people that I'm in Philadelphia because it's dangerous. You know, I mean, it's not dangerous, but it's just not smart to do that.
yeah,
So-
no, I get that. I'm just saying, like, do you think like then, like the fact that like you pointed out the murals, right? Like that's a landmark, right? Those are very rare, and you painted them, I believe you said.
Exactly. Yeah.
So like, don't you think like by even showing that, then that would like give people something to look up to try to find you? Like,
Well, here's the thing. I'm okay with that. But what I'm not
Okay.
okay with is him actually sharing an image of the front of my mansion. I think that's where he crossed the lines in my eyes.
the front of it, I don't remember seeing the front of it. I just remember seeing like the side, like where your garden is, right? You had the greenery, and then up you saw the murals, right? I just saw the 2 murals on the side.
Yeah, so I have the video, you know, of where
I didn't see the front of it, so that could have
yeah,
been
so
me.
that was my only issue with him is like, you know, and the reality, I was like kind of, half happy that he did it because Society Hill is like an extremely wealthy area in Philly. And the only thing you'll do is make me famous by doing that. I didn't really want to do it, but, you know, I was sort of happy. But when he called it an apartment, that's when I was offended.
I'm not gonna lie, like when I saw the side of the building, and it could be just geographically location, like, you know, what that looks like in like an inner city. Like I have in LA, we have brick apartments like that,
Right.
have murals on the side, and it could easily be mistaken for like a LA apartment. Like,
yeah, no, and I'm fine with, you know, you possibly mistaking it for that, but don't, you know, tell your audience that that's an apartment because, you know, I worked hard for that. You know, I come from humble beginnings, and I worked very hard to buy this mansion. So don't tell anybody it's an apartment.
Okay, so let's say what if he said like it looks like an apartment to me, right? Like
I'd have
that-
been fine with that.
okay.
I'd have been perfectly fine with that. It looks like an apartment to me. Perfectly fine.
Okay, so then you were upset with the wording that he tried to make a definitive statement that like this is an apartment, this is not a mansion. You know, like that's what you're saying.
I know it sounds childish, but yeah, pretty much. You know, I worked hard for all 4 of these floors.
Mm-hmm. I can understand that, but I think it's also like, at what point do we understand that people come from different backgrounds and they talk differently, and
Sure.
what you may think that there is disrespectful is not disrespectful in that culture or where they're from. Like, you know, they don't mean it in that malicious or disrespectful way. Like, oh, that looks like an apartment. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I could see that.
you know, I'm just trying to show different sides of things and say like, hey, I don't think everything's always intentional or malicious. Sometimes you got to understand there's a lot more nuance in gray area around than.
Yeah, I'll say this, you know, and I'm glad you brought that up. You know, like I said, I really like what you're doing, Glenn. You know, I know it's a lot of hard work that you're pouring into this. So I want to say that first and foremost, congratulations to all of your success.
Thank you.
No problem. And I would say this, you know, I actually really showed grace, because you got to understand, I took out 10 billboards and I could have put anything on those billboards I wanted.
Yeah.
And the only thing I put on those billboards is I am Andrew Wilson's father.
I am an Andrew fan, but the Millionaire Bachelors billboard is epic. It's October 12th, 5 p.m. here in Muskegon, Michigan on I-96.
And I knew in my mind, I said, okay, cool. This is going to get him publicity and it's going to get me publicity as well.
Yeah, so, I thought if anything, it was an investment into his channel, because if whoever doesn't know who he is, they're looking at that billboard like, who's Andrew Wilson? And all they do is Google him, and then next thing you know, that's now eyes on his content, right?
Yeah, no, that's why I said I'm his father, because I'm investing in him.
I am an Andrew fan, but the Millionaire Bachelors billboard is epic. It's October 12th, 5 p.m. here in Muskegon, Michigan on I-96.
Yeah. Or you could have been like a benefactor.
Right, exactly. You know, I don't hate Andrew Wilson. The only thing I'm saying, Andrew Wilson, is you know, especially guys like me that are authentic, and I understand, you know, you might not meet that many on the internet, but when you discredit somebody that is authentic, then they might do some crazy shit.
Yeah, the question is, like, what if okay, some random guy on the internet, let's say I make some comment like, I don't believe this random guy on the internet, I don't believe this guy's rich, you know, why would you feel the need, or why would that individual feel the need to have to prove me? Like, who am I to him that he would feel that he has to go out of his way to prove himself, is the question. Like,
well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, because I'm just kind of wondering, why would you feel the need to have to prove him wrong? Like, if he's the nobody to you, you know, like, why would you need to prove anything to him?
Well, okay, so I'll go back to the reason why I got on YouTube. You know, I got on YouTube because, for the most part, I was kind of bored. I was bored and I needed some excitement. So, you know, to be honest, it's just exciting. You know, I don't really care about views.
That's like a new adventure for you.
It's literally just a new adventure for me. Like, I don't care about views. I mean, because you got to think about it. I could pay for, you know, promotion and all that shit. I don't even do it. But for me, that was just some fun shit to do. I only saw stuff like that in the movies.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck it. Let's make some movie shit happen. So that was really it. I just wanted to, you know, make some movie shit happen. You know, I talked to my accountant. He said, you know what, you need to spend some more money. And I said, I got a great idea.
Yeah. So what, you do have a channel, you do have a community on here, right? Mm-hmm. What is the Millionaire Bachelor channel about?
Really is honestly just telling people about wealth. I mean, I think that me, Andrew, probably yourself, we probably coincide on a lot of different issues. I mean, I'm pro-Trump. I'm not really for the Moist Mafia. You probably don't know what that is, but let's just think of Liberace. And I'm really for I'm really for bringing the I want men to be stronger, essentially. And what I'm doing is a Robin Hood model where I'm inviting people into my community, but ultimately what I want to do is be able to, generate money for them. I call them my bachelors. And the reason why I want to do that is because, thus far in my life, I have not really made anybody else money. And I said to myself, this is a challenge. I have a new challenge now. I can't call myself a businessman if I haven't made anybody else money. So my new challenge really is with the bachelors to elevate my voice, but at the same time, find a way where I can help other people. It's kind of like a Robin Hood model, whereas though most people get on screen and they just want money. I'm saying, okay, well, how can I help other people get money?
Yeah. Like, so are you like more of like a philanthropist?
So I could just give people money. Yeah. But that doesn't challenge me. I want to be able to create other people money. And I also want to do it because, like I said, I have the bachelors, right? So think about like a group of individuals that are coming together and pushing the Millionaire Bachelor brand.
So it's kind of like Andrew Tate's like Hustlers University or War Room.
Only that they don't have to pay to join with me.
So they don't have to pay to join your community. But where's the investment? Like, where's the skin in the game at then?
For who? Them?
Yeah, for the people joining.
So we basically do screening just to make sure that they really are into the Millionaire Bachelor brand. I mean, we don't lead with, hey, we want to make you money. We don't lead with that. We just say, hey, you want to be a part of the, community, blah, blah, blah. And after a while, it's like, okay, our main goal is to generate revenue for the bachelors. Like, that's literally my main goal. And I want to do that because, like I said, this is a new venture for me. It's a new business. And I want to challenge myself to understand a digital marketing space as well and bring other people money.
Now, but I think you said, like, if I'm correct, like before you were in like finance or something like that, like or the stock or something like that. Like,
yeah. So I had a pretty much, my business career is definitely checkered, but when I first got out of college, I actually started a record label, and I have some pretty big songs with some pretty big artists. But that was just a kid, getting out of college and doing something that was fun. Shortly after that, I went to I was a hedge fund analyst at a company out in PA, and then I went to Wall Street. I was there for a while, and I said, you know what? I don't want to do this shit anymore. I don't want to ask another man, can I take a vacation? And I said, fuck it. I started investing in the real estate in Philly because it was cheaper than New York or DC. And I just really built it up. It was a rinse and repeat process. Pull out equity, buy the new place, pull out equity, buy the new place. And I got to a point where I was generating enough money that I didn't have to tap into equity anymore.
So how are you generating like money now? If you're no longer, are you like, because you're no longer in Wall Street or?
Hell no.
So what is like your revenue stream now?
Well, I have 57 properties between DC, New York, and Philly. So majority of it comes from that.
Real estate?
Yeah, just real estate, whether it's residential, I have commercial buildings as well. I have studio spaces, I have 2 hotels. So, it's just, at this point, once I've been doing it for like close to about 12 to 15 years now. So it's like clockwork, and it gets boring. When that's all you're doing, it gets boring because it's like, if something goes wrong with one of the places, I can't go there. Someone would have to call somebody anyway. So, I was literally just bored.
Yeah, like, because, well, I mean, is it a risk to not diversify your revenue streams as much? Because like it's all in real estate. But if we get another collapse, right? Like, wouldn't that really affect your revenue stream?
Well, that's interesting that you say that, because there's another diversification stream within real estate, and that's diversifying your real estate, right? So some people do long-term, short-term, hotel spaces. So when you diversify in that way, you actually are doing the same thing as diversifying within different streams. Say you want to do stocks, bonds, real estate. if you diversify the type of real estate you're doing, you're essentially doing the same type.
Mhm.
You're doing the same diversification. So
But like,
basically,
I understand, like you're saying you're diversifying the revenue stream within that that funnel or that stream, right?
Right.
So instead of one river, you have a multiple little rivers that are connecting to one. But if the water dries out, regardless of how many streams there is, you're still getting less water.
Well, it
right?
depends. Well, it depends on how leveraged you are, right? So after a certain point in time, I stopped having to actually leverage, which is taking mortgage out on different places. So, majority of my portfolio is actually paid for in cash, which most people can't find. Andrew Wilson's fans think they're, slick and try to find that.
So
Yeah, but you can't even find like majority of my
you're saying
portfolio.
like a lot of your properties. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're saying majority of your properties are already like bought and paid for. Like you don't have like a loan on them or anything.
Yeah, majority of them are LLC'd up, so you can't even find them. But like I was saying, like you have short term, long term, you have quasi short term, long term, and when the market does certain things, either short term will tank or long term will tank, but you're diversified, so you have something to that net. But because the majority of the portfolio is owned, then it doesn't really matter at that point.
Yeah. Is that part of your channel? Because I think that would be great to learn. I don't think there's that I'm familiar with a channel that talks about how to purchase real estate and the different types, commercial or residential or long-term, short-term. Is that what you teach in like your bachelor's program?
Yeah, so I teach that as well, but the main thing that I teach is the thought process you have to have, because I can tell you how to make $1 million a day, but if you don't have the correct thought process, you can lose it all, because it's not really just about acquiring money. It really is about discipline.
Mindset.
Yeah, it's 1,000% a mindset. You have to really be dedicated to it. You have to be organized, and you can't spend money recklessly when you first get it. So I teach people the mindset, but I do it through a comedic way. When you look at my channel, you say, "Oh, this dude is over the top," but I'm doing it intentionally.
Yeah, you're saying that you're intentionally not flamboyant in that sense, but like intentionally like overdoing it to prove a point.
Exactly. It's supposed to be like witty humor, if you will. Most people actually take it seriously, and I'm like, yeah, I do think like that, but I don't talk to normal people like that.
Yeah, a friend of mine wrote the book. AJ, what's the book that Laurent wrote?
It's algorithm trading. Like set up your trades using an algorithm. Short selling with algorithm. Python, it's on Amazon. Right? I can put a link to it here in a minute.
Yeah. Like a year ago, he was doing this doing some research. So he was asking a bunch of us if we would give him like an hour of our time. He's gonna ask us a bunch of questions, and he actually conducted like this like interview, and you're just answering a bunch of questions about your family, just like background to stuff. And basically what he did was he was able to by your answers is break down your psychology of money, how you understand money, and by determining that determines whether or not you are like your mindset that you have with money, the way that you view money will determine how you are either wealthy or poor, or he could kind of pretty much like pinpoint your financial situation just based off how you view and understand money.
Yeah, he did to me too. I put the link to his book in the private chat and in the main chat. So if you want to pull it up on the share screen.
Yeah. The funny thing about that, Glenn, is when you talk to certain people at a certain level, they can listen to like one sentence and understand everything about you. Just because they've been doing it for so long and they've talked to so many different people. So, what you're saying about that guy is definitely not far-fetched.
Yeah. Here, I'm going to share the screen real quick so everybody can see the book. It's really interesting. And like, he's like, oh, just by the way I answered certain questions, he was just like, that's Laurent.
Nice.
Yeah, he lives in Japan. He was just like he just kind of knew, like, hey, did you guys, like, growing up, you had like probably something like this, right? And he's just like, yeah, how did you know that? He's like, just by the way that you answered these questions, I was able to understand like what your family's financial struggles were.
Right.
And that was really fascinating how he was able to do that. And so I guess, like, is that what you kind of do too? You kind of teach them how to review?
So basically, I teach them the mindset that you have to have. Like, but like I said, I'll do it through a comedic way, like where I'll have a topic about what do I think about the Ukrainian war, right? And then I'll talk about Vladimir Zelensky, and I'll pretty much show a video of him dancing in heels, and I'll pretty much tell everybody that, you know, the mass media is really trying to, you know, trip you up. And majority of the individuals that you see in politics are actors. And the reason why I do that is because it opens up their mind to something bigger. You know, in order to be successful, you have to have an abstract mind. That's how you have to think. You have to, you know, be able to think very abstract, or you'll be kind of caught in that you'll be caught as a cog in the wheel, if you will.
No, you can't have a narrow-minded.
You can't.
You can't say this is the only way. You have to be able to think outside the box a little bit.
And that's difficult for a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you had an interview with Pearl. Was that you?
I've done a lot of streams of Pearl. Like,
Holy shit.
Pearl's like my little sister.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah. So
I saw you guys throwing axes. I'm like, what the fuck?
oh yeah, I mean, I got streams where me and Pearl are rapping in a car.
What?
Freestyling, yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay, I like that.
She's cool peoples. She's really good peoples.
Hell yeah.
I think she just.
Sorry, I was in and out during that stream too, Glenn. Hopefully, I get another chance to have a chat with her.
Oh yeah, I think she just posted like a vlog of when she came out here to California and me taking her up to Thor's house, and she did, right? Yeah, and the interviews and stuff. Yeah, it was fun.
Oh, you're in Cali?
Yeah. Yep. I'm in LA.
Are you serious?
Yep.
What? That's actually pretty dope. Yeah. Well, you know where I'm at. I'm in Philly, New York, and DC. But yeah.
Yeah, I work in the film industry, so that's, you know, got to be where the films are.
No way. I didn't even fucking know that. Somebody said, you know what, you need to check out Glenn Lawrence, and I was like, what? And I just checked you out. I was like, oh, he's like pretty cool dude.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Hell yeah.
So, like, tell me, I'm interested about. I'm always weary about like programs or like communities. Like my community, like my Discord is pretty much free. Like you sign up to the YouTube membership, you get the Discord. Like I'm worried because I don't like selling things. I don't sell product. Like
right.
And the reason is because there's way too many snake oil salesmen
right
out there. And a lot of people take or prey on the people's desire to improve,
right?
They tell them bullshit.
Exactly.
You know, so don't take offense just by me asking questions, you know, inquiring questions, because I just always I'm always skeptical. I think you have to be. Right. You know,
I want people to know more about The Bachelor. So ask away.
Yeah. So what is the overall objective? Is it to help men get rich? Is it to help men get bitches and be rich? Or is it to help them find rich bitches and get a sugar mama?
No, not even any of that. Not even any of that. So my model is this. You know, everybody that becomes a Bachelor, I platform them, meaning that, you know, you create your own YouTube page with whatever Bachelor, and you know, whenever I'm live streaming, I'll give you guys shout outs so you guys can get more people to your channel, get your channel monetized. And realistically, it's honestly just a knowledge transfer. So I wanted to create it where I have diverse people that are Bachelors. So I have people that are in real estate, I have app developers, I have IT people. So if you're in IT and you want to know about real estate, you guys can talk together. And the reason why I'm not charging for that is because you don't have to. You know what I mean? Like the bigger my voice gets, the bigger they get, the bigger it keeps going. We play off of each other. So if you go to any of my YouTube, if you go to my YouTube bio, you'll see like a landing page and it has all of the Bachelors. Like I promote them. Like, you know what I mean? They make their own money, and I don't really charge them anything. The only thing I need for them to do is actually believe in what I'm teaching. That's it, you know. And that's that's pretty easy to tell whether the person believes or they're just trying to, you know, get in to get some money.
Yeah.
So essentially what you're saying is it's kind of like the Fresh and Fit model where you're networking a bunch of people who are experienced in a certain trade.
Well, I think with the Fresh and Fit, they had to pay to get in there. With me, it's you don't have to pay anything.
Well, I'm just saying it's a similarity.
With
some differences, of course.
Well, I'm not too familiar with their model, but if their model is knowledge transfer and also like, hey, I'm platforming you, like, you know, when you go to my YouTube and you know type in my bio and you see the website, all of their YouTubes pop up. So it's like it literally is me doing it with them as well. So I wanted to make it more like a community thing, and versus just, you know, Millionaire Bachelor, I'm out in front and it's just me. Because I see too many content creators, it's all about them, and I want to incorporate other people.
Basically you're creating a network of other wealthy individuals to help each other transfer information to improve their wealth overall. Like,
well, they're not wealthy. Majority of the individuals that are in the group are not wealthy, so they're individuals that want to be wealthy. And that's fine. You know, essentially, how can I put it? They push my voice.
Yeah.
So they're pushing my voice, right? But at the same time, by pushing my voice, they're pushing their voice because everything that, you know, that I have, they're tagged on it. So the faster I go up, the faster they go up as well. I don't touch their YouTubes. I have nothing to do with that. That's, you know, their own personal thing. So, you know, they get monetized. I'm monetized.
But like they share your content, right? And by sharing your content, they spread it, which drives people to view more of your content. But in the same time, people will follow them to be able to keep track of more content. Like, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, sort of like that. But also they're going to become their own personalities as well. So it's like
but they have to already have a channel, right? Like they already have to have a channel and develop their channel on top of pushing yours or restreaming or re-sharing yours, right?
No, their channels are new. Once you become a bachelor, you create a channel, and you know, it's fairly new. I mean, they're going to get traffic from me posting, you know, their links and telling people to follow them. And the reason why I did that model is because the easiest way to get ahead when you're dealing with success is to always have other people that are successful. And I said to myself, you know what? Why don't I create other people that are successful? So if anything, you know, if I want to do this YouTube thing, then this guy has 30,000 subs. That guy has 30,000 subs. So I can never fall. So I want to, you know, create like this space where, you know, I'm propelling them up and they're propelling me up at the same time.
Yeah. And how like, is your channel relatively new? Like, how long have you been on YouTube again?
I've only been on for like a year, but I've only really, you know, been posting for the last 8 months, to be honest. Outside of that, yeah, I was pretty much new to it. When you go to my earliest information, it's just voice clips, literally just voice clips. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm like new, like very new.
Oh, okay. So that's pretty cool. And like do you have like other like streamers like are like reputable, like or not reputable, but maybe more like household name like streamers that you like collaborate with regularly? Or
oh, that means you definitely don't know my material. Yeah, I've been through a lot.
I'm sorry.
I've been through some spats.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
like beef,
I mean,
like real beefs type of thing.
Well, you know, I you might not know him. His name is Saint and Sinner. He hangs out with Fresh.
Marquette.
Yeah. So essentially, he was actually the first person I did business with. You know, business for me is, hey, I'm going to pay you for your time because I don't know you. You know what I mean? So I went ahead and paid him a couple of grand to, you know, put a video on his page because obviously he has a higher following than me. And, you know, after I paid him, you know, maybe about a week later, he took the video down. And I said, okay, well, if you take the video down, give me the money back. I don't really care about the money, but it's principle at this point.
Yeah.
And he never gave me the money back. And on top of that, I re-uploaded the video and he tried to get me a copyright strike. So we went on this whole tiff. So we have a whole story of going back and forth. Yeah, it got pretty hairy.
Yeah, I mean, I know Marquette. He's I mean, I have nothing negative to say about him. He was always good to me when I
right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you go back and you look at it, you'll see it. So I had something with him. Then I had Charleston White.
Yep, I know of Charleston White. I mean, I've never met him personally, but I know of him.
I had a couple interviews with him. You know the guy Jesse, Jack like Jesse, the dude that dates trans people and stuff.
A guy named Jesse that dates trans?
Jack like Jesse, like he claims he's not a part of the Moist Mafia, but he dates girls that have male equipment.
Is that the bodybuilder dude that was on like No Jumper?
Yes. Oh. If you haven't seen that interview,
I saw that interview. I was like, bro, you're gay. You suck dick. Okay. You're a dick sucker. Okay. Like, I don't care how you look at it. You're a dick sucker.
You have to watch that interview. That's probably one of my funniest interviews. The Now You're Single Mom dude, you know him?
Oh, the guy that wrote the
mom.
Yeah, I had an interview with him. Something with No Jumper I had. I mean, I've been all over in the past 8 months, but yeah.
Okay. And so, like, let's say, like, do you think we could, like, you know, create a truce between you and Andrew? Like, we could call bygones be bygones. Maybe you guys, you know, got off on the wrong foot. I think you just said earlier, like, there's no hatred towards him.
Yeah, no, not at all.
You were trying to prove a point. You're flexing a little.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as he can, you know, say that I don't have an apartment, then yeah, we can definitely bury that.
I don't think he'll have a problem saying or not saying that. I don't think I think if anything, he'll say, like, I don't even know where he lives, if he lives in an apartment or not. He'll be like, I don't know. He's like, I can't say he doesn't. I don't know if he does, but I can't say he does because I don't know if he does. You know, like he's like, I've never been to his house.
Right,
you know?
right.
So I don't think he could, like, feel comfortable definitively saying one way or another. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I'm cool with that. You know, like I said, it's not any real issues. Like, he didn't take money from me like Satan Center did.
Yeah, that's crazy. If Marquette did something like that, you know.
Yeah,
you know, I thought, yeah, but you know, I don't. There's two sides to every story. I'm not saying that you're lying. You know, there's probably something probably got lost in communication. But how often do you, like, go shooting? Like you said, you go hunting, like or was that just like Alaska that one time you guys were gonna go do that?
Yeah, so I was gonna go with Andrew Wilson, but in terms of shooting, I just usually go to the shooting range.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like, isn't Philly pretty strict out there? Like, when it comes to like gun laws? Like, are you guys only allowed to have like only handguns or no rifles type of thing?
Yeah, handguns, but I would say out of, you know, DC, New York, and Philly, like, you know, I mean, DC, New York, and Philly, Philly's very, very open to guns. Obviously, it has to be concealed carry, but, you know, there's no shortage of guns in PA.
Yeah, like, 'cause, like, out here, like not even allowed I'm not even allowed to have my ARs out here.
Yeah, you're toast in LA for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I carry around my handgun, but that's about it. Because
I didn't even know you can do that in LA.
Well, I mean, I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
I mean, the most you could do is have a cylinder, man.
Right.
I grew up in the hood, man. Like, I've seen too many things, so, you know, it's just it's the reality of things.
Absolutely. Is LA fun? I mean, come on. Is it you like?
I mean,
like
it has. I hate the traffic. Like, there are some really cool bars and like speakeasies that I like to go check out, and there's always like new ones being opened and stuff. That's pretty cool. I love like the live music, so like there's some really good venues that play like really good bands and stuff. But overall, it's disgusting. Like it's filthy out here. It was never this bad when I was growing up. I mean, yeah, you would see your junkie every once in a while. But like literally all downtown literally looks like somebody just dumped their entire house outside. I mean, you'll have just filth everywhere. And it's just like it's just like Andrew. I had Andrew with me yesterday. We're driving downtown to go to Jubilee. We were both on Jubilee yesterday. Wow. And he was like, this place is fucking disgusting. I'm like, I know, bro. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Like, fucking shit everywhere.
Right.
But that's just downtown. Like, but if you go to Orange County is a lot nicer. Cleaner streets. Like, it's just, yeah. But it depends on what you want to do out here. Like, if you're I'm not really a nightlife person. I'm like, I'm older now. Passed those days up a long time ago. But right. So smaller venues, the gyms, like we have some really dope gyms. A lot of like independent, like bodybuilding gyms. We have some of the best ones out here. So I mean, there's a lot to do out here. It's fun. I mean, you're really just paying for the weather, honestly. Like if you're living out here, you are paying to have good weather year round. That's about it.
Got it. So another question though, what would you say? Like, I know you asked me about my channel. Like, what would be like the main thing about your channel? Like, what's the like thesis on it, if you will?
Yeah. So I'm all about the production of men. We have for the last over 40 years, we have been living in a very feminized society, a society and a culture that has tried to remove men from their station. Even in our language, it was policeman. Now it's police officer. It was congressman. Now it's congressperson. Senator. Like it's just we have lived in a society that has tried to remove everything masculine and male, right. And we've demeaned men to the point where we're raising young men to want to be girls. Essentially, and they end up rejecting their masculine nature, their God-given designed masculine nature, and to adopt a more feminine, pussified nature.
Right.
And what that leads to poor relationships. It leads to men not being equipped or able to fulfill the roles as a man that the society and his future wife or whatever is going to require of him. And it kind of sets him up for failure.
Right.
And so I'm about, bringing that patriarchal man back, but from a biblical standpoint. I think biblical patriarchy is also what the church has abandoned. And if you notice, like since like the rejection of biblical theology and patriarchal theology amongst evangelical churches and stuff, what we have seen the divorce rate increase. We've seen gay pastors, we've seen female pastors, we've seen a whole bunch of fuckery going on in the church, and the church is all fucked up. So it's like I'm about just going back to what we were doing before, helping these guys be better men overall, whether that's working on their goals, achieving their financial desires, building up that masculine framework from the inside out, like AJ's book that he just wrote. I'm writing a book right now that's talking about masculine presence. So it's really about helping men be men, equipping them with as many tools as we possibly can, and letting them decide which tools they find useful or not.
Right. Yeah. My website is called kitchenplease.com.
Kitchen
Please.
Oh.
For the women.
Wife school? You got a wife school? That's what's up.
No, you know, it just says on my website, I've been putting women in kitchens since 2000. I'm serious. It does say that.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, so pretty much the same thing. I mean, I do it maybe in a more crass way. I talk about it, but
no, trust me. I say it's called build a bitch. Like wives don't come perfect. You got to build that bitch. It's like not build a bear. It's build a bitch. They don't come pre-assembled. Okay, but in order to do that, you have to be the guy. You have to be squared away. And I don't think there's we have a patriarchy as it is. You may not seem like we have a patriarchy the way that it's we would envision it to be ran, but see, patriarchy is not evil or good, but it can be depending on how it's being how is it being ran. I think we are currently seeing an evil patriarchy. We live in an evil patriarchy where we're seeing everything kind of upside down. Everything's ass backwards, right? We got women leading men, men deferring their authority to women. That's not how it's supposed to be. In a good patriarchy, we will see that the patriarch is not like self-seeking and entirely self-ruling, like I'm going to do this because I have the power to. No, he wants the tribe, the people underneath him, all to succeed, because if they succeed, he succeeds. If they're moving forward, they're following his, vision, and they're moving with him, then they succeed and they all rise, right? Like a rising tide lifts all ships. Absolutely. And that's really what the goal is. I learn a lot from a lot of these people on the panel with me as well. Like I don't have all the answers, and I try to bring other people in to help, on certain topics, and we discuss things. I really like doing a lot of comedy. I mean, I want my channel to go more to doing more comedy skits and being able to teach through that as well. Exactly. But really, we just come here, we have dialogue, we have conversations about real difficult topics that seem to be very polarizing in society. So we really want to get into the minutia of all that to kind of really like hash things out in a constructive way where it's not all blood sport and it's about, throwing a bunch of ad homs or, zingers out there for clips. We really want to find solutions.
Exactly. And, on my channel, I basically, I analyze the why things are like that. Like I'll say something like, women entering the workforce, obviously push the wages down, and women were tricked into the workforce, and I'll give them the why, because if the system is broken and there's no family, everybody's a consumer. The people that own all the stores at the top, they get all the money. They actually lose money when families are together. So I kind of break it down, for my audience as to why it's happening.
Yeah, and it benefits society when if we keep families intact. Like right now, we see a lot of propaganda being pushed at women. And like I said earlier, what do you think women vote for? Women only vote for things that for laws or, candidates that are going to allow them to kill babies, divorce men and get money from them, and sell their butthole online. Like,
and then complain when they're old and they don't have anybody.
Yep. And all those three things that women vote for is destructive to society.
Yeah. I mean, there was this one book that I read, and I won't take up too much time, but there's one book when I was a child, it was about Hercules. And, this one guy, he was punished. He was, punished with holding up the earth. And Hercules comes along, and Hercules is just happy. And he's like, hey, how can I help you? The guy says, hey, man, could you just hold the earth for a second?
Mm-hmm.
And, and he tricked Hercules into his punishment. And that's essentially, that's how I look at it. What society has done to women. They've tricked them into the workforce. They made them think that they will be happier there.
Yeah, we have more women on SSRIs. They're not better off. They've been lied to. And the sad thing is about women is that women are not telling the younger women to not do what they did. They actually encourage them to do what they did, because women don't like seeing other women do better than them. It's like the crabs in the
I was about to say that. Yep.
They like to pull them down. They're like, no, bitch, you're not going to do better than me. And
that's sad.
It is sad, and like guys are different. You know, guys, we see like a younger guy, and we're like, you could kind of see yourself in them. You know, like, oh man, let me help you out. Let me put you under my get you under my wing, and let me tell you something. Avoid that bitch over there. Those bitches over there, man, they're gonna fuck you up, right? You know, you need to kind of be focused on this, and you know, we try to help young guys better more than older women try to help young women. You know?
They don't at all. That was when I first came on. That was literally majority of my content was, you know, telling men like what women really want. The niceties that you think women want, that's not what they really want. They want an actual man. And you know,
they want
majority
you to be competent, you know.
Yeah, that too. And you know, majority of these guys, they will never see the real essence of a woman. And I know this might sound a little crass, but when she's giving it up to the one she really wants to give it up to, she acts a whole lot different.
You're talking about genuine desire. When a woman has genuine desire for a guy,
it is 1,000% different. And a lot of these guys
only understand relationships in the transactional sense. Yeah. I do this for you, you do this for me, right? And this is a transactional thing. That's why you when guys hear chore play, they're not really, they think, oh yeah, that's a good idea. But really what they're doing is they're making their wife a prostitute.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, so yeah, we kind of cover all those things. So it's, you know, I try to encourage them. You know, I work with a lot of very well-known and solid guys like Andrew, guys that I look up to as well, that you know, to kind of feed each other off, like help each other out and be able to network. And where I'm weak at, I encourage guys to go look over to this individual who's more proficient in this area than I am, and vice versa. You know, it's just a network of exchanging information and pointing people in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the people at the top don't give a fuck about any of us.
No, they don't. They don't. And, the way things are right now, it's designed to make you fail. The only way that men or anyone can actually succeed is if they come together and as a collective and be able to exchange that information. Like the Red Pill was established based off a bunch of guys swapping notes on how to get their wives to fuck them again, right? And in doing so, they created this network of men, right? And it's kind of the same mentality. I want to be able to just bring people on, swap notes with them, see what works, what doesn't work, and trial and error, and just have that information be exchanged. Like the game is to be told, not sold. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember, like the saying used to be, the game is to be sold, not told.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to. I'm not here to sell anything. Because if there's somebody that's really in need of something, they should be able to get it. You know, like they should be able to, you know, someone should be able to help them out. Not saying that they're entitled to it, but they should there should be a place where somebody be like, hey, let me give you some insight. Let me give you some help. And give you some tools so that you could go out and be successful.
Right. Yeah, I agree. As long as they're asking for it.
Yeah. Like I ain't going to do the work for anybody, but what I could do is at least point them in the right direction so whether they could be successful, or give them the information that I have found useful, that has helped me, and, you know, let them run with it and see how that helps them. And none of that comes out of price tag. You know, wow. I don't charge for any of that.
Yeah, I don't charge either because I don't want to feel a burden to have to do something.
Yeah, I think that you know, charging people when they are in the dire need, I think it's stupid. I'd rather give it away, the information I have. I'd rather give it away for free. And if you decide that you want to pay it forward somehow, or it always comes back. You know, I'm not worried about dollars and cents when you're doing the right thing. You know, blessings do come.
I agree. I agree on it. You're a cool guy. You're a cool guy, Glenn.
Appreciate it.
You're a cool guy. But listen, I'm gonna get out of here. It was good talking to you. I'm definitely going to join your stream more often, support a little bit more often. Thank you for the time.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for coming up. I do want to try to see you and Andrew be able to mend some things. That'll be good.
All right. Well, listen. I mean, if he's okay with it, you're okay with it. We could hash it out on one of your streams if you want.
I will float it by him, and we'll see. If anything, it's probably be better to do it behind the scenes, just like the three of us, or I can mediate, and then.
Oh yeah, we could do that.
And then that way, we're not putting out, your guys' business in public. Like men normally do things behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Like, just handle things privately and then go from there.
All right, cool. Let's set it up.
I will reach out to him, and I'll let you know.
All right, Glenn. Have a good one.
You as well.
You too.
All right. See you guys.
Take it easy. All right.